Hi there, it's Ruth, and today we'll be looking at stoichiometry. And stoichiometry is the quantitative relationship between reactants and products during chemical reactions. So the reaction that we'll be looking at today is a single replacement reaction where solid copper is reacted with silver nitrate in solution, and it ultimately leads to the production of silver and copper nitrate in solution. The question reads, the reaction above produces 0.36 moles of silver. If the reaction went to completion, how many moles of copper were used? Okay, so we want to first establish the stoichiometric relationship between copper and silver. And the equation tells us for 1 mole of copper, we produce 2 moles of silver. So you want to write that down because we don't want to forget that. So 1 mole copper, 2 moles silver. All right, so we could rewrite this mole ratio as a fraction to assist with dimensional analysis. So we know that if 1 mole of copper reacts to form 2 moles of silver, or unknown is we want to know how many moles of copper leads to the production of 0.36 moles of silver. So when we look at the setup here, we begin to see that this is going to cancel out the mole silver because we have mole silver in the denominator and mole silver in the numerator, which is what we want because we want that to cancel out so that we're left with moles copper. So from a numeric standpoint, we are ultimately left with, okay, 1 times 0.36 divided by 2, if we're only thinking about numbers. All right, so let's transfer that. So 1 mole copper, that unit stays, times 0.36 divided by 2. And essentially 0.36 divided by 2 is 0.18, and we have to keep the units. This is left, so we're left with 0.18 moles of copper. So that tells us that if we have this reaction and we produce 0.36 moles of silver, we used 0.18 moles of copper. And the equation does tell us for every 1 mole of copper, we produce 2 moles of silver. So if we use 0.18 moles of copper, we will produce twice as much silver, which is then confirmed. We could also use the ratio setup that we have here, 1 mole copper, 2 moles silver. Is that just another way to look at it? So we want to know, this is our unknown, X moles of copper. And our known is 0.36 moles of silver. So we could cross multiply. So we know that these will be multiplied, cross multiplied, and I'll change the color to show the other two. That's going to be multiplied. So we'll have in the numerator 1 mole copper times 0.36 moles silver. And essentially, we're multiplying the X moles copper by 2 moles silver. So 2 moles silver. I'm going to use the period because too many X's. All right, just to show that these two variables are going to be multiplied. All right, so for us to isolate the X mole copper, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 2 moles silver. So we're left with 1 mole copper times 0.36 moles silver, and again divide by 2 moles silver. Again, we see that the moles silver cancel out, and again you see it 0.36 divided by 2, 0.18, and we're keeping the units, mole copper. So that's two ways to look at that type of question. I'm going to be looking at another question where we get into a bit of limiting reagent so as to determine the overall yield of a reaction. We have an equation, and it's the reaction between nitrogen dioxide and hydrogen to produce ammonia and steam. We could see that nitrogen is being reduced and hydrogen is being oxidized, so this is deemed a redox reaction. The statement reads, with 17.86 grams of nitrogen dioxide and 11.95 grams hydrogen, find the theoretical yield of ammonia in grams. Now, this theoretical yield will be found using the limiting reagent. And the limiting reagent is the reactant that is used up completely during the equation. Now, we have two reactants, the nitrogen oxide and the hydrogen. So our first step will be to calculate the number of moles present of each reactant. But even before we calculate the moles present, we have to calculate the molar mass of each reactant. And we could use our triangle where moles is equal to mass over molar mass. And I'll include the multiplication sign and the division so you could see. All right, so let's calculate the molar mass of nitrogen dioxide. We know that we have 1 mole of nitrogen. The molar mass of nitrogen is displayed to the right. Got that from the periodic table, 14.07 grams. And we have 2 moles of oxygen, 15.999 grams. And hydrogen, there are 2 moles present. The molar mass of 1 mole of hydrogen is 1.008 grams. So the molar mass of hydrogen is 2.016 grams per mole. And this slash here is per mole, or sometimes student will write grams per mole as such. All right, so for the nitrogen dioxide, 15.999 times 2 plus 14.017, that will give us 46.005 grams per mole. So let's first do the moles of nitrogen dioxide present. And we said that was equal to mass nitrogen dioxide over molar mass of nitrogen dioxide. All right, the mass of nitrogen dioxide is given in a statement. We have it here, 17.86 grams. And the molar mass, we calculated that to be 46.005 grams per mole. So if we're dividing grams by grams per mole, you can see that the grams will cancel out and we're left with mole. Because if we divide 1 by per mole, we're left with moles. So 17.86 divided by 46.005, we have 0.388 mole of NO2. All right, next, moles of hydrogen present. And we know that's equal to mass hydrogen over molar mass. All right, the mass of hydrogen, again, given in a statement, 11.95. So we're going to divide 11.95 grams by the molar mass that we calculated, 2.016 grams per mole. So when we do that division, we should have 5.928 moles of H2. Now that we've calculated the moles present, we could go ahead and look at the equation stoichiometrically. We even look at it stoichiometrically, we have to take note of the number of moles of each reactant calculated in the first slide. So we said moles of nitrogen oxide, that was 0.3881, and the moles of hydrogen, that was 5.9276 moles. Okay, so we want to see the number of moles of nitrogen that would be produced from 0.3881 moles of nitrogen dioxide or 5.9276 moles of hydrogen, so as to know which one is truly the limiting reagent. And the way we do so is by focusing on the mole ratio between the reactant and the product. So let's look at the nitrogen oxide first. And we see that for every 2 moles of nitrogen oxide, we produce 2 moles of ammonia. So essentially a 1-to-1 mole ratio. All right, so if 2 moles of nitrogen oxide produces 2 moles of ammonia, how many moles of ammonia do you think will be produced from 0.3881 moles of nitrogen dioxide? It's essentially 1-to-1, so you see that it will be 0.3881 moles of ammonia. All right, we have to now look at it from the hydrogen standpoint. So we have to focus on the mole ratio between hydrogen and ammonia. Okay. And this tells us that every 5 moles of hydrogen reacts to form 2 moles of ammonia. So now, if we had 5.9276 moles of hydrogen, how many moles of ammonia would we form? And this will be, we're going to cross multiply, so this will be 5.9276 moles hydrogen times 2 moles ammonia, and that's going to be divided by 5 moles hydrogen. And we could begin to see that the moles hydrogen will cancel out and we'll be left with moles ammonia. So when we plug that into our calculator, we see that that's equal to 2.3710 moles of ammonia. So when we look at both quantities of ammonia to be produced, we see that the nitrogen dioxide will produce 0.3881 moles of ammonia, and the hydrogen will produce 2.3710 moles of ammonia. So it means that the nitrogen oxide is a limiting reagent because it will produce less ammonia. Now that we know which one is the limiting reagent, we can now move forward with calculating the theoretical yield of ammonia. So we did our calculation and we said that the moles of ammonia present was equal to 0.3881 moles. And I'll refer to, the triangle where moles is equal to mass over molar mass. And the top is a fraction bar and below is a multiplication sign. Let's calculate our molar mass for ammonia. We know that we have 1 mole of nitrogen. The molar mass of nitrogen is 14.007 grams. We have 3 moles of hydrogen, 1.008 grams. So when we do our math, we get 17 0.031 grams, and that's the molar mass of our ammonia, grams per mole. All right, now therefore a mass of ammonia present is equal to the moles present multiplied by the molar mass that we just calculated above. The moles present, we have 0.3881 moles. And a molar mass here, this is grams per mole because it's the gram quantity of 1 mole. So this is 17.031 grams per mole. The per mole and the moles canceled out. So we're left now with 6.61. Yeah, 10 grams of ammonia. And that's how we calculate the theoretical yield of ammonia in grams by way of calculating the limiting reagent initially. Thanks a lot for watching. This was a long one, but thanks for sticking through. And please feel free to leave any comments at all so as to add to the discussion. Thank you.